Welcome to the Northumberland County Farmers Market Podcast. I'm Rebecca, also known as the Naughty Jam Lady. Welcome back. Hello, it's so good to see you. Guys, what is going on with the weather? It's been absolutely crazy the last couple of weeks. I just can't even. However, we're going to get into that. First, Lofty Butter Co. is sponsoring today's episode. Created after the Millers noticed no one was doing butter at the farmers markets. They went down kind of like a rabbit hole of small batch butter producers from all around the world. And voila, in 2020, Lofty Butter Co. was created. Now, Lofty makes cultured butter made with fermented 100% Ontario cream and slow churned in small batches. It's tangy and smooth. They make classic sea salt, unsalted, and fun seasonal flavors like autumn spice and steak spice. And they don't just do butter. I know it just sounds like they do butter, but also they do creme fraiche, clarified butter, and buttermilk bevies flavored with Ontario fruit. So very local, which we love. Lofty is strictly a farmer's market business. So following them on Facebook and Instagram at LOFTY Butter Co. is your best bet. I'm really lucky I live nearby them because their storefront used to be in Colborne, so they live there. Anyway, they occasionally do local delivery. And so I was really smart and I was like, I'm going to get on this. And I got the Lofty Butter Co. sea salt cultured butter. So just like the classic one, because how can you not? And I also got some buttermilk because I'm thinking about making some bread. But because I'm celiac, I have to find ways to make it really delicious. So I thought, well, if I buy some buttermilk, that's the best option for me to add beautiful flavor to my bread is to add some buttermilk to it. I could also do waffles or pancakes or whatever. I guess I could make my own bevy, but I was just carbs, carbohydrates. So you can follow at Lofty Butter Co. to find your next amazing pack of butter. Thank you, Millers. I really appreciate it. So I tried to go to the market in Memorial Park in Port Hope 2 Thursdays ago. 2 Thursdays ago? Not this Thursday. I'm going this Thursday. Okay, this is going to get confusing, but just bear with me, okay? It was canceled for poor weather. Apparently, the market in the park, Memorial Park in Port Hope, it's going to be canceled if the concert is canceled because they're well, no one's going to go if there's no music. I would, but that's just me. However, I did talk with Rosenberg Bakery, who's Anna, who's been going to that, and she does a really cute, you've probably seen her. She does a really cute brownie and blondie cart where you get a slice of, it's a little brick of cake, and then she'll top it with any of the toppings that you like. Sorry, that's Sookie beside me. Sook, can you not shower while we're doing the podcast? Honey, this only takes no time at all. So just be a good girl, okay? Anyway, Anna makes these beautiful cakes in a tin, and then she puts whipped cream on it, and you can get sprinkles, and you can get M&Ms, and you can get gummy bears and gummy worms and all kinds of delicious things on it. Okay, it's really, really cute. She's been going, and Anna said that it's usually a pretty good market. So I'm excited. I'm going back on Thursday, but we'll get into that in a moment. I really think, guys, maybe the year of the fire horse is actually directly impacting the weather only, because at first I was like, yeah, get me on that fire horse. Let's do this. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on with the weather? I feel like I live in that little town that Dorothy gets whipped out of with the tornado. Because May and June, it was absolutely freezing. And then July, it's been scorching. And now we have wildfire smoke. And I just had a tornado warning the other day, which I knew nothing was going to happen with it because I live in a valley. So there's no way a tornado is coming through a valley. It's just not going to happen. The tiny valley that I live in. But I was just oh my goodness, what in the world? Anyway, when Thursday, that market Memorial Park was canceled, Coburg was very gracious and they took me in. That was a surprising day for me for sales, I have to say. Coburg, I sold one case more than I normally sell. However, I will say that there were a couple of cranky people there that day. One in particular who drove me crazy, who I have not forgotten about, is a 6'3" tall, broad-shouldered chemist. He's a synthetic chemist. And he came to my table and he was like, how do you feel about working in synthetics? And I'm like, sir, this is fruit and sugar. And I guess LCBO could be considered synthetic, but honestly, it's not in all the jams. And he was like, "Oh, well, people sometimes find that pectin is synthetic." And I'm like, "It's made from apples and orange peels." Like maybe because it's been processed, but anyway, he got all uppity and was trying to like mansplain me, and I literally said, "Are you always this friendly in the morning, or am I just lucky?" And he was like, "Well, you don't have to get upset about it." And I was like, "I'm not. I've been very pleasant and smiling the whole time. What's wrong with you?" You know? Anyway, finally his female companion grabbed him and was like, "Okay, that's enough. Time to go." And I was like, "Smart lady." And so if she did bury him on the way home, I would not tell on her. Anyway, so Coburg was great. I had a good time. I'm gonna try to do Market in the Park on Thursday. Or like yesterday. You know what I mean. So I'll bring a report back for that. That is, by the way, just type into your Google Maps, Memorial Park, Port Hope. It will take you right there. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 8 o'clock in the evening. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited about it. Oh, also, I'm going back to Campbellford Farmers Market at 66 Front Street South on Saturday from 9 until 1. And my buddy Rachel from Stonehouse Candle Co. is going to be there. We kind of like synced up, if you will, because she was like, "I'm going. I haven't been before." And I'm like, "Well, I'll go with you because I really liked it." And she was like, "Okay." So we're going to go and check that out again on Saturday, which I'm really excited about. And then Sunday, I'm going to be back at Codrington for Christmas in July. I dressed up in red and green last year and I really went like full throttle. And I was really miffed because like no one else really decorated their tables. A couple people wore like Christmas t-shirts. To be honest, it was very hot, so I shouldn't be so hard on people. But I was just like, what the heck is the point in having like a featured day if no one's gonna like really grab it by the bells and lean into it? So I'm not going to lean into it that much this year. However, I did make my most Christmassy jam for it, which is spiced cranberry red wine. And it will be available at all my markets this week because it's super easy and fast to make. So I was like, why not? You never know. Someone might want a little bit of Christmas in July who's in like Port Hope or Codrington or Campbellford. You just never know. Anyway, I really like it. It's a really good meat, cheese, and ice cream jam. Like it's a good all rounder. Literally tastes like Christmas in a jar. I like it on a turkey mayo and lettuce, but it also goes great on like a Thanksgiving poutine or like with some beef or lamb. It's vanilla ice cream, whatever tickles your fancy. That's what it's good for, and I've made a ton of it, so I hope you enjoy it. Maybe I'll buy myself. I'm more of like a Halloween girl too. That's probably what really made me angry the most was like I'm like I never dress up for Christmas. I prefer Halloween, so maybe I'll buy myself a Krampus t-shirt and I'll wear that on Sunday, and then I'll feel more like myself celebrating Christmas, which would be highly entertaining. And then you guys can all explain to your kids who Krampus is. Anyway, also this week, I gotta say, last week, pardon me, I was in Victoria, BC, visiting the bestie, who's right here. This is me and Polly when we were young ladies. When we were young and going out to the bars, doing it up. Sorry, that was my music montage for me and Polly. Okay, so while I was in Victoria, BC, the weather was not crazy there, or not as crazy there as it was here. But I came up with like such a brilliant plan that even Polly was like, "You got to mention this on the podcast." I'm like, "I so do. You're so right." So, you know, when you go on holiday and you buy like shot glasses and ashtrays, and then like you quit smoking or you stop drinking, and then these things just like sit in your house and collect dust, and you're like, "Well, what's the point in that?" What we did was I grabbed Polly. We went to the Mayfair Mall Indigo/Chapters bookstore, and we went to like romance and fantasy sections, and we had to pick a book for each other. It's a book that we had read on our own that we really, really loved, that we wanted the other person to read. And so what we did was we actually had to grab an associate because we couldn't find any of the books that we were looking for. Her name was Davina. She was very nice. She was probably the same age as us. And like the music was so good. There was like a little bit of Madonna. And then they had like 99 Balloons. Like it was very like 80s, 90s centric, and I really enjoyed it. So Polly and I were like dancing while picking out our books. Anyway, we went through like 4 or 5. Davina was very patient. We were literally dragging her around the store by like her shirt sleeve. And okay, we picked out our books. Finally, I found one for Polly. She found one for me. And then we took our books home. I took mine to the hotel. And I wrote down, Beck comes to Victoria 2026. And then I wrote down like a quick synopsis of like what we did while we were on holiday together. And then at the end, I just wrote like, I love you and I'll miss you and I'll see you later. So now Polly has a book that she gets to read when she misses me. And also it goes in her library, which she has forever. And then it's okay if it collects dust and stuff because it's a book. It's a library. It looks prestigious. And then slowly as we go through these trips, we'll just do it more and more. But I also met a woman on my plane on the way back. I flew Porter Airlines because they're the best. Her name was Joy. And Joy was continuing on to Rome for 2 weeks. She's going to go do an Italian language course, which I thought was very cool. And I told her, I said, while you're in Rome, go stop by like a secondhand store and grab yourself like an English book, because she was very like Italian. She was very focused on learning Italian and reading Italian and all these things Italian. And I said, just get yourself an English book and then at least it'll be easier. And then right on the one of the front pages, Rome trip, July 2026, and then a little bit of the fun things that happened on your holiday. And then you have a personalized memento for yourself that you can still read and enjoy, and you can keep it on display, and you'll look very like, you look so smart because you have a lot of books. Why do you think I have so many books? Actually, this is nothing. This is like a little tiny tisp of Beck's book collection. But anyways, I thought it was a really great idea. So I'm sharing it with you because I'm so over having ashtrays and shot glasses that like I don't use. Also because the last time Polly came here for my 40th, she bought me a Kindle. So it seemed appropriate that we just keep doing like a book thing every time we visit with each other. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Special shout out to Cullen of Darlington Power Station. I'm like the unofficial jam supplier of Darlington. But apparently Cullen ordered 8 French vanilla coffee cherry because his family loves it and his brother-in-law is like a chef in Toronto who also loves it along with his friends. And apparently they're having like a big D&D game, which is Dungeons and Dragons. And he needed to bring the jam before that happens. So Cullen can take the jam basically with him to distribute accordingly. I kind of love that I have like a Toronto dealer now. I make the supply, they move the supply. It's a good deal to have. So thank you, Cullen. I really appreciate it. I thought that was very sweet. Be sure to follow at Lofty Butterco on Instagram and Facebook to find out where they're going to be. I actually just had some sea salt butter on toast with watermelon jam because everyone knows salty makes sweet better. Chad usually does on the road stuff, and he's very handsome and buff, and he wears these cute t-shirts that are really tight around his arms. But I do think Marie should get out more because she's really, really cute too. She does come to my house for delivery though, and that's when I'm like, how you doing? And she's like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh my God. And then we kibitz for like 10 minutes. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. If you're interested in sponsoring an episode of the NoCoFM podcast, you can find me on Instagram at NoCoFM_podcast, or you can just email NoCoFM_podcast at hotmail.com. I hope to hear from you. That would be great. And if I don't see you this weekend, like I'm really excited about the markets that I have going on this week. I think it's going to be a really good time. If you can't make it out to come and see me, totally cool. I'm going to be sad, a little disappointed, but I totally get it. And if I don't see you this weekend, I'll see you next Friday. So until then, cheers.